Hey guys, this is your inspirational nurse underscore RN. Tiara comes to you live with another great video. Welcome to the inspirational channel. I am your nurse Tiara. Hello. Happy Thursday for those who are out there working hard. Today's video is super special. Have you been dealing with being betrayed or lied on? This video is going to be super special for you guys. It's a treat. God has been dropping gems on my heart since this morning. And he just wanted to let you know that the lies and betrayals is part of a plan, guys. Sometimes God allows certain things for us to go through, for us to get to our destination. We all are on a path, right? Each of us have a path that we're walking on right now. Now, whether you decide to get distracted by the birds and the deers, or you decide to get off your path and not reach your destination, the thing about God is that he knows the things that we are going through. He knows the lies that are being told right now. He knows the betrayals that happen behind closed doors. Maybe you were betrayed by someone you loved, your family, a spouse, a friend, a dog. I don't know. But we are all experiencing this. And God is saying that he sees everything. Literally everything. And it's important, guys, that you stay on this walk and you do not attach yourself back to your past. When you are walking forward, like on a hike, it is dangerous to turn around and look behind you, right? Sometimes we get nervous. We think something is there, right? And we just get nervous about our past, because our past reminds us of our downfalls. It reminds us of our beginnings. It reminds us before we were in this phase of life, right? And it's kind of like the enemy's way of letting you know that you're not going anywhere. But God says, keep looking forward. He wrote your whole story out. Your whole life has been planned. He has a whole future for you. And sometimes he will show you glimpses of your future, or someone will come to you and prophesy to you about your future and give you small glimpses of what that will look like, guys. For me, guys, God had a whole future kingdom spouse for me. I was a mom. I became a wife at a very early age, a business owner in my 20s. God has definitely had his hands on me, because I came from times where I didn't have enough to eat, y'all. I had a narcissistic mother that was very sick, guys, from manic to suicide. I was taking care of my brothers, guys. I've been working since the age 11. First job I had was packing bags at a supermarket around the corner from Brooklyn. Thank God for them, guys. I remember having to rush there because the other kids in my building would want to take the job. And it wasn't a big supermarket. They only had like 2 cashiers. So if you get there early enough, you can pack your bags. People can put money in your cup. And literally, that was feeding my brothers. I would take that money and get Chinese food for them, and we would split the plates. I would get them clothes. You know, I was kind of like their mom and taking care of my mom all at the same time. So sometimes, guys, we might have a rough start, but what God loves to do is the ones that had a rough start, the ones that's been left behind, the ones that's been betrayed, the ones that's been lied on, the ones that had curses placed on them. I remember family members telling me that I wasn't going to be anything, that I was going to be poor, not educated. I came from a household my mom did not know how to read, guys. I didn't really know until she had me write all her letters. She started having me read all her mail. She didn't say it out loud, but I kind of knew something was up, even though I was just a kid. And I was just like, well, and she said, tell me, you got nice handwriting. And I was just like, okay. But my mom didn't finish her high school education, had my sister early in high school, and she's been on her journey, and she's been going through so much in her own world. She has her own perception of things. And as her daughter, I learned from all her battles, her silent battles, things that she was dealing with, the demons that she was dealing with, the walls that she was hitting, the roadblocks she was hitting. You know, trying to raise kids single in Brooklyn is not easy, guys. Not easy, but we never went homeless, thank God. God always had his hands in the situation. So sometimes he will allow things. Like I remember going without food, sometimes going to bed hungry, you know, or I remember desire a sandwich and not have the components to the sandwich, right? Maybe just had the bread, but didn't have the meat, or had the meat, didn't have the cheese. Like, so I remember just desiring those things. I used to make, as a kid, I used to put butter on my bread, toast my bread real good. And that was it. Like it was busting to me, right? And as a kid, as you start to grow and get older, you start to have more understanding of things, right? And you start to realize that, oh no, this woman is supposed to be taking care of us. She's supposed to be, cleaning and cooking and da 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 da. And there was days my mom was really down when she wasn't manic. Like, she would lock herself in a room for days, and we would just knock on the door, she's like, figure it out. We like, figure it out. Like, so it causes so much anger. I remember being so angry at a young age, because I was like questioning God at one point, like, God, why you put me here? Like, why you put me in this situation? I knew who I was on the inside, kinda, as a kid. Like, I knew I wanted so much more from life. I just look at my circumstances, and I heard God say today that your circumstances is not pregnant. It's not permanent. Maybe there's some people on here that can't get pregnant. Then maybe there's some people on here that maybe you have nothing in your account. Maybe right now you're in a shelter right now. Maybe right now you are, you lost a relationship, or you're getting out of a relationship. You lost something, right? Maybe you lost a deal in business. Maybe, God is saying that your circumstances is not permanent, that God is getting ready to turn it around in seconds, guys. I remember going through so much a horrible time, and God flipped my testimony, my life story, my situation at the age of 19. I got married, right? And before I even met my husband, I didn't even know God was giving me a kingdom spouse. But I knew when I was coming up, I was caring for my brothers. I was caring for my mom. I was being mother in that motherly role and doing those responsibilities. But God was using that circumstances to not only propel me to be someone's wife, but guys, he used that situation, right, as a lesson. And also it uses that as a diversion to the enemy, so the enemy couldn't harm me during those vulnerable times, right? Going through those vulnerable times, right? Where I could have went left or right. I could have been like, you know what? This ain't working. I'm going to go be a hustler. There was some things, I was torn. So when I made the decision to get saved, I know that the enemy was mad, because I was torn between the two. I was like, I don't want this life for me. I don't want to live like this no more. I started to get so angry with my circumstances. And I heard God say, your circumstances is not permanent. And I used to get visions and dreams and that have understanding of everything at the time. And I was so torn. I was so torn between choosing the rich way to go, right? I know that in me, I was a good person. I know that in me that who I was bold, right? I wasn't afraid of a lot of things that a lot of other people were, right? I wasn't afraid to stand up to bullies. I always was the girl that stood up to bullies. I just don't like seeing people get hurt. And it was because of my upbringing, guys. God had a whole plan for me, like a whole life plan. My life plan did not match what his life plan was. And I'm so glad that I took the risk and I trusted without having full understanding myself or not seeing the full picture. It's kind of like a salesperson selling you and marketing you on something that you have never saw or experienced. And it's like you are gambling with your life. You're gambling with whether you should take that risk, right? God was like telling me different things. I just always felt the presence, right? Even in my darkest times, right, as a child, like just being hurt, by my mom. My mom wasn't very affectionate or, very loving. She was very like narcissistic at times and things like that. And it was just a hard upbringing as a young lady that, I was just like, God, you know what? I don't even know, like, why. Like, I always wanted to know why. That my dad wasn't there. I didn't have my dad's side of the family. So not knowing that either, right? It left voids. It left empty spaces. And I wanted to fill those spaces so bad. Like, I felt empty. I felt like, but my identity wasn't tied to my parents. My identity wasn't tied to my circumstances. My identity was tied to God. And that's why what I was on the inside did not match how I was feeling on the outside, if that made sense. It was just very conflicting. It was like, I know who I am. I know who I want to be. But how I'm feeling on the outside is not matching, right? So that's when, guys, God is saying to you, he's like, I have so much more. So much more. All you got to do, guys, is be willing. Like, I didn't have a script. I didn't have instructions. on how this life thing will go for me, I just took the risk. And I said, I'd rather go towards something that someone that loved me. When I heard how much God loves us and the sacrifices, it just melts my heart, And I'm like, I could have went either way. I could have been in the streets. I could have been killed already, guys. I could have not even be here. The stuff that I have been through living in New York, like with all those people, all that wickedness, right? It was just a lot. And it did show me exactly who I am and what I stand for and what I can tolerate. It showed me a lot about myself. And God was just using my circumstances as a protection thing against the enemy, because the enemy also knows plans, your plans as well. The enemy also can quote a scripture. That's why you can't always believe people that says in Jesus' name or want to pray for you or know a little scripture here too, because the enemy also can kind of, you ever see the shows when they talk about how the enemies dress up like in sheep clothing, like they look like regular people, but they are really evil on the inside. So you have to protect yourself, right? You have to protect yourself in all of this. And you have to trust God and hold his hand on this path. And don't get distracted. Some of us got too many people on our path blocking our way. You can't see because you got all your friends there. You got people that don't belong there. You got people from your past there. You got things that you're still holding on to that you're not willing to let go. That's blocking your vision from your future path that's in front of you. And you have a choice, because God is a gentleman. He's going to give you a choice, guys. He's not going to be like dictating like who you should believe or where you should go. But let me tell you, it was the best decision I made in my entire life. When I decided to live for God and I decided to say, you know what, God, I don't know all the extraness. I'm just willing. I'm just a willing vessel. I don't know how this is going to work out. I met my husband in a military program, guys. My mom put me there because she thought I'd be a troubled teen and like all that. She just wanted us out the house. So I understand. 3 kids in the house, you want a break, I got you. But I wound up meeting my husband there, and we got married at a very young age and still is married to today. Like, God was preparing me to be somebody's whole wife. I come from living in a household that I lived in to being somebody's wife, like being somebody's mom. Like, me? Nah. I was like, the girl is like, nah, not me. And the things that you say that's nah, not me, is the things that God is usually going to do for you. It's the things that you're like, nah, I can't be no nurse. I can't care for people. I don't know. I'm too rough. I'm too this. I'm too that. I can't be nobody's wife. Usually those are the ones that God turned into a wife, and you become the best wife and the best parent, So watch your words, right? Because God is like going to basically turn your situation around, and you're going to have to eat your words now, because you're like, I said I wouldn't, and I am now. So God is in control. So stop worrying about things that you can't control. Stop looking back in the past. There will be people from your past that's going to pop up, and it's going to be a reminder, or they're going to be like, yeah, I remember you was like this. I remember when you talk like that. I remember when we used to go to the club. I remember when we used to be like, yeah, I remember. So what? So what? But right now, I'm moving forward. Right now, I'm not perfect, but I'm moving forward. I'm on the right path, because it's all about being on that right path, because there's so many other paths you can take in life, right? We always gamble with our life with other things. So why not make that decision, guys, and trust God in all of this? Because I'm telling you, I heard God say what you're dealing with right now is not permanent. You not having a job right now is not permanent. You not having a kingdom spouse right now is not permanent, guys. God literally brought me a kingdom spouse. A kingdom spouse is somebody that literally was designed and fit perfectly with you. It's like the boy version of you, or you would be his girl version of him. And it's just like everything meshes well. Spiritually, y'all connect. Physically, everything connects. And they love you to your core, like your soul. It's a love that is rare. You need to respect. It doesn't come around all the time. It's a risk. It will scare you to death if you come from a household that you have not received that love before. it will make you go, do I even deserve it? Can I receive it? Because your kingdom spouse is going to give it to you, but can you receive the love? If you can't, there might be some blockage there. Something that's causing you to feel like you don't deserve true love, or you don't deserve a true kingdom spouse. God literally put me and my husband together, and he had a whole love story written out that I had no clue to. I didn't know that our relationship would get that serious, where he's like, oh, you're my queen. We're going to be married. We're going to have 3 kids. And I'm like, me being married and having kids? Like, I always met a lot of guys that always saw that in me before I saw that in me. And I was just like, I don't know, bro. I was just planning on being in the house by myself with a dog or something. But literally, it was the best decision ever. I would have gave up on the best thing ever. Which you can see our picture behind me. That's when the age, I was 19 years old. And we did the whole lot. And the way God has dealt with our kingdom marriage and love was he protected it. Like, we kept a lot of things secret. A lot of our dates, we did not tell everything. You know, we kept it under wraps. It was just me and him. No one else influenced. We didn't have any outside influences. Because sometimes some outside influences like family can destroy the best thing that's going to happen to you, because you think they know you. They don't know you in the future. The new you, right? The one that God poured into you. You didn't discover yourself yet. So if you listen to people when they tell you, oh no, girl, you being married. No, not you. Oh, yes, you. Oh, because they don't see the future you. They don't see the you that you when you discover yourself, when your life gets turned around, when you level up. They don't see that person. The only person they see is the one they know from when y'all was growing up. That's all they know, and that's all they see. They can't see beyond that. And that's why everybody can't go with you, because they can't see your vision. They can't see you with a ring. They're like, you with a ring? Who would want to marry you? Like, you got people that is so evil that they would try to destroy the best thing that will happen to you. People who love you will want the best for your life. They will want you. They will be like, girl, we will be there. Whenever y'all married, whenever y'all have a wedding, we will be there. The ones that never really really was jealous, or there was something there before where they really didn't care about you and you just couldn't see that, you will see that when you're getting ready to get married, guys. People will turn on you, betray you, lie on you, say they're going to do something for your wedding day, not show up. You know, the ugly side comes out, and I didn't know that. And being the one dealing with all this, when people turn their backs on you, you're like, hey, I just wanted you in my wedding, you're my family. It's an eye opener. Don't matter if the family, people just can't see you happy, right? You grow up with people that come from the hood, and they think you should stay that way. But if they was to level up, they would want you to support them. So I'm confused. And God sees that when people do that, especially on the days that you're being celebrated, your love, your relationship on your wedding day is being celebrated, and people turn their backs. God sees that. God sees that. And that's why he blesses your wedding even more, right? In your wedding day, you're like, wow, we was blessed on our wedding day. Like, me and my husband, we decided 8 years later to renew our vows. Unfortunately, when we first got married, we went to the courthouse because he had to go to Iraq, and the same weekend, and we went and took care of our business. And 8 years later, we had our first 2 kids already, and they were able to carry the ring, and my daughter was the flower girl. They got to witness our love, what God was doing for us. And God poured so much on this day. He funded this day, gave us the best venue we can possibly have in Brooklyn, right? It was like a castle. It was a $1 million building. Marble staircase and marble walls, beautiful artistic building, like a castle, y'all. A castle, right? I had multiple dresses, big bridal party. We had a ball. Like, God literally poured into this. We got to choose a chef. We had a maitre diem. We had a captain. We had multiple rooms in this venue. We had a bridal suite. We had two other eating areas downstairs, plus the ballroom. I loved it, guys. I had my prom there as a high schooler. and I fell in love with the place. It was just like a dream come true. But I wasn't a girl that grew up and knew that I would be married. So I didn't have ideas of like what my dress would look like or colors or flowers. I was not that girl. I was like, I went from a household that my mom didn't believe in marriage to wanting to plan on a wedding. Me? Oh, everything that I thought I couldn't be or didn't deserve of, God was like, girl, you deserve everything that's coming to you. And that's why he blesses our lives and blesses our lives. The more he blesses us, the more people fall off because they just can't handle the glow up. They can't handle seeing this girl that they knew glow up, right? And now she's doing big things. It's like they can't see that past the past, right? They can't see. The ones that stayed with you from the beginning, y'all need to stick with them. The ones that got your back. I remember my sister, she didn't want to be in that wedding. Party went on. One of my bridesmaids stepped up big time, was like doing all the maid of honor position. So I put her in that position, you know. I was just like, wow, like you would think that this will bring your family closer together, but it actually shows you who's really in your corner when it comes to celebrating what God has done. Because that wasn't a day for us. We actually did it for our families, right? I wanted certain cousins I grew up with there. All of them didn't want to come. I was just like, that's fine. But the party went on, y'all. We had so much food. Like, me and my husband got to try different cuisines from different around the world. We had to choose a chef and everything. And I think that was the best part because I love to eat, y'all. I was just like all odds trying all these different foods. So my wedding food was a variety of different cultures and stuff. Like, I had like coconut shrimp and chicken and this and that. I had like a whole bunch of stuff. We had all types of stuff. We had good entertainment, good DJ. We did a dance that I put together because most of the people in my bridal party were couples. So my prayer was them to their relationship to be blessed right behind our wedding day. And 2 people got engaged, 2 couples, and 1 got married right after us. So God definitely was in the midst. He manifested this day. My mom walked down the aisle, which she did not like dresses, and she did it for me, and she did change her clothes after, but she did it, which I was so happy and proud that she participated and was there and was present. Even though she didn't say much, she was present, and I was proud to have that, you know, to be blessed to have that. And, you know, I decided that I'm going to live for God. Like, I'm not going to be faking it. I don't always know the answers to everything, but I'm just on this ride. And it's the best ride you can do when you let the will go and you let God take the wheel and you let him drive and you sit back and enjoy the ride. Because living life when you're trying to control everything can be exhausting, and it makes you realize you're not in control of much anyway. So you have to make sure that you also are guarding your heart and you're using your healthy boundaries towards people that has betrayed you, lied to you. You need to cut. Remember in kindergarten, we used to use the little scissor and we had to cut everything. I don't cut so much down. I told my husband, I'm dangerous at this time of my life because I'll cut you off so quick. And I would say, just like the church mothers, I'd be like, baby, good luck out there. I love you. And I cut you off. Look, now I'd be like, look, I'm sorry I didn't do it sooner. I tell people that now that do things towards me. I'm like, I'm sorry I didn't let you go sooner. I don't even know why you're here. But that's called growth, y'all. Going from a girl that felt like I had to have people there for some reason. I don't know. But this girl now cut you off in a heartbeat and won't have no tears behind it. You know, the more weight I had, it was pulling me down, stressing me out, more anxiety. I learned to cut and let people go because I'm like, I shouldn't have had you here, and I apologize for that. Like, why I have people in my corner that didn't mean me any well, I don't know. So there was a lot of things that I had to discover about myself, or there was still some unfulfilled holes or voids in my life that I felt like I needed to fill up with fake people. But no, now I live at peace. I'm living my life. My life was even better when I decided to do that, and let people go. It's just so much less drama, so much less headaches. when you just can wake up and be yourself unapologetically, is the best thing in the world. When God gave you that freedom, right? He set you free. When you choose God, he set you free from all of it. All of it. So it's like the best decision. So when people betrayed you, you smile and you go ahead, baby, good luck out there. You keep it moving. Don't look back. Don't beat yourself up. Don't say, well, why I allowed it to happen? You allowed it. So now you need to find out why. Because everything that we do, there's a reason, right? You need to just self-discover yourself. Find out who you really are and your purpose in God and your identity, right? You need to find out your identity, because the enemy knows that when you don't know who you are, and he just gets you all, attacks you. So when good things are starting to happen for you, you don't even know how to take good things happening to you, because you're like, I don't deserve it. When you do, you just don't know who you are yet. Okay, you're a kingdom child. Your father is the King of kings and Lords of lords, right? You have access to everything that you need, whether there's financial gain, you need, somewhere to live, whatever you're trying to do. God already knows. That's why he says in his word, you don't got to keep praying for the same thing. You just have to have trust and faith that God will manifest it. And sometimes it doesn't mean it's going to happen within the next 5 minutes. Sometimes God takes his time with your plans, because he knows what you need, like thoroughly. He will bless you. When he blesses you, it's usually in multiple ways. It's not always just one blessing. He usually blesses you 3 times fold. Like I told the testimony about our home, we literally had the best bank, best rate, best house. Like, we didn't pay any money down. It was like God had like this whole plan, even when it came to the financial part, financing the home, and then afterwards maintaining it. Now we've been here for 2 years. And I'm just like, God, I thank you for making our dreams come true to be homeowners. Me and my husband was always homeowners. We always was in Lowe's and Home Depot. They know us by heart. That's the bad part about it. But we always would dream of what we would do to the yard and how we would spend our time there, and our kids, and raise our kids, and movie nights. And like, we always desire the same. Me and my husband, that's how I knew he was my kingdom spouse. We desire the same spiritual things. And when God let it happen, we were like, our mouth drops like 10 times during the process. And even our team was like, what is wrong with y'all? They kept questioning us, like, what's wrong with Mrs. and Mr. Fleming? Because they acting funny. It wasn't just we were acting funny. It was just that we were like, it was always, God always blesses you at the time when all hell is breaking loose. You have nothing to make the dream come true or manifest. So it's God. Right? Because when we got approved, we was not on plan on moving. We just moved to our apartment. So who was trying to move again, right? So it was so funny how God had everything happen and what we got approved for and everything. We was just like, who? My husband was like, who got approved? No, not us. I'm like, I don't know. They said it could be a scam, but it wasn't a scam. God had a plan, and he had a plan for our wedding. He had a plan for our marriage. God has his hands in everything, in our children's lives. Knew we would be parents. Me being somebody parent, I was so frightened in my past because of how my mother was with us. I'm like, I didn't want any of those traits, but I learned God used that situation just to protect me from the enemy's hands. He had to create a diversion. He had to put me in a bad situation so people can sleep on me and be like, oh, that girl ain't going nowhere. Oh, that girl ain't going far. Oh, she ain't smart enough. Or she ain't going to be this, or she ain't going to be that. And God did it so it can glorify him, if you pay attention to how he does things. So your situation is bad because it's a diversion to protect you. And it's also a lesson to propel you to your future. Because without those lessons, now you would not appreciate where you are now. See, I appreciate where we are now, to the point where we're very humbled about the situation. We understand what it took to get here. We've been down in the trenches. Me and my husband been there. We've been struggling and going through all those things, and it was a diversion against the enemy, so the enemy wouldn't know. He'd be like, oh, Tara, she ain't gonna do nothing. She ain't powerful. He don't slept on me. So I heard God say, your permanent circumstances is not permanent. God is getting ready to flip it around for some people on this channel. Don't sleep. Let the enemy sleep on you, because they don't realize who you are. If they known that, they would have been trying to kill you and take you out real soon as you was a child. So he has to put you in those bad situations. So first of all, you will have a testimony. 2, you will appreciate when you do level up from out of that situation. And you will work extra hard to keep it. You will fight like hell not to go back to your past and to live in that past life, right? But to move forward. It's all about moving forward and taking risks. Maybe you're a business owner, but your business never manifests. God is saying that is not a permanent situation. He's getting ready to touch somebody's business ideas, somebody's business dreams, somebody's desiring the business to work for themselves. Because I know I am one. God is getting ready to bless your account. I heard God say he's getting ready to make your account 10 times fold of what you pray for. He's going to bless you triple in your finances, right? God is also raising credit scores, guys. Our credit score was at its highest when we purchased. First of all, our credit score has never. That's why we thought it was a scam. We was like, whose credit? What? Like, no. Like, literally, God did everything behind the scenes, raised our scores to its highest peak to give us the best interest rate. Like, God was doing things behind the scenes. He's working as we speaking right now. So don't think your dreams are too big, right? It's not made for the world. It's made to honor God. Whatever business plan you have or wealth to do with your wealth that God is going to give you is to honor him, not to use it for you or, to do whatever. Is to honor him because it's all about God, right? And don't let nobody else tell your story. Don't ever let nobody else say things. You should be the one testimony. You should be the one telling your story. And the ones that drop off along your journey, they were meant to drop off. So stop trying to go back and put them back in your life. Stop trying to make excuses for people to be in your life when they don't need to be there. Put your healthy boundary signs up. Just like I told you, when you have a house, you put up a fence. That fence is letting people know that this is private property. Do not cross these boundaries or be consequences. You need to put your fences up in your life and stop allowing people just to walk all over you. It ends today. God said it ends today. The betrayal, the lies is going to continue. It will form, but it won't prosper. It won't manifest. The evil plans that people really have for you, for your downfall. People said you're not smart enough to be in healthcare or a nurse or whatever you desire to be in healthcare. God said that is not a permanent situation. He's getting ready to turn it all around. He's going to give you the best teachers. He's going to give you points from out of nowhere to get you past to the next level. God is doing it. He is doing it. He's turning career plans around. Dreams that you're having, God says he sees it and he hears you. Oh my God, God said he hears your voice when you're praying, you're crying behind closed doors. Nobody knows what you're doing behind closed doors when you're praying to God and you're crying out to him. God says he hears you and he is working behind the scenes. So you just have to keep your faith, everybody. I hope this video wasn't too long. I just wanted to get up on here and talk about being betrayed and lied on. If you are dealing with that, it's because you are chosen and there's a bigger purpose in you. And what the enemy is trying to do is use everybody around you to come against you so that you kind of give up on your purpose and what you're about to birth. He's kind of trying to get you to give up on that. He wants you to abort the purpose. He wants you to abort it. Just like people get abortions. He wants you to abort the mission, abort that and say, no, you know what? This is getting too hard. You know what? I don't have nothing. I don't have no money to do that. You know what? I'm giving up because I can't do this. You know what? I'm not good enough. That's what he wants you to do. He wants you to abort it. He wants you to give up on the mission. He wants you to forget about your dreams. He wants you to feel like you're a failure. You are not a failure. It's just that you didn't discover who you are, how strong you really are. You're really stronger than you think if you look at the situations that you was in and you survived. You are a survivor. And it's just like when they talk about science and like it's the way of life, you know, when the parents birth, the animals are birthing the next generation and then they birth the next generation. But then some fish might get eaten by an alligator, some make it. You are definitely chosen by God, and that's why there's so much attacks on your life and so many people coming after your story and your glow up, and they can't handle you leveling up. But every level comes with a sacrifice. Someone is going to get dropped off. You're going to lose something, but God is going to give you 3 times more. So don't think that your losses don't count. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, y'all, this video. I have been home taking care of myself. So glad I'm not on another contract right now. God has just been planning my trips coming up, guys. Y'all know how I do for Christmas. So I've been planning to do that for my children. And yeah, so I will see you guys on the next one.